Hi everyone, I'm Ash, and full disclosure, I hate starting these videos because I never really know what to say. It's always the same thing, isn't it? So, hi everyone, I hope you had a wonderful week. I got to get away for a few days, get out of the Harry and Meghan sphere a little bit, and go see an NHL hockey game, so that was a lot of fun. And my team won, so yay. But Invictus did kick off. I've posted a little bit about it on Instagram, but I really haven't paid attention to it, to be honest, which, I've seen a few things. I kind of delved into it a little bit last night, and what was most prominent to me was what I call Manic Meghan. And I know that the Megxit community tends to call this her rictus grin, that is always so prevalent when she's on stage. And when there's cameras around and when there's, just any attention that she can get, she has this painful grin. She has almost no other expressions. Occasionally you see a mask slip here and there, but the smile itself, it's hard to look at times. If it had just happened once or twice, no big deal. But this just looks physically painful to hold in place. And we had a lot of examples this week. And that's coming from somebody who, as I said, didn't really pay much attention, but boy, Twitter did, or X. That's not my preferred social media. I just kind of pop on, see what other people are saying, and, see what pictures are being posted occasionally, maybe a couple of times a week. I need to get better at it. But if you'd like to follow me, I would love it. And as many of you know, my Instagram is where I really kind of focus my attention, I guess would be the right word. I don't know. It's a few minutes out of my day. I've gotten a little snarky this week. I'm not going to lie. Between all of these squatties coming out and, the massive PR push. I mean, this is from someone who has not been online very much lately, and to see all the posts, I mean, how much are these people paying for PR? And I actually went to the Invictus page, and I was pleased to see that they actually have been posting about the athletes, which is a nice change of pace from the Harry and Meghan show. Also, last night, I saw that the Sussex squad showed up at Invictus because of course they would. And I believe it was the first post I saw about it, Meghan's mole was the one to post something and had tracked down who the people were. There's no surprise that they're there, but at the same time, knowing Harry and Meghan's security, how is she able to sit directly behind Harry and Meghan? It definitely jumped out as being suspicious if you didn't already know the backstory, that they apparently know her, that they have, I believe, called her before to thank her for her support. It's interesting that the former royals are so close to her. And what absolutely set me off last night was seeing a video of one of these squad members going up to Tom Bower, who was at the games. If you don't know, Tom Bower is a lawyer. He's written, I believe, several royal books, and he wrote one called Revenge, focused on Harry and Meghan. It brought up the bullying claims again. Harry and Meghan have never sued, and so it's an interesting dynamic there, because I correct it with the Sussex squad. I don't really correct them because I don't consider them capable of learning anything, but I make comments occasionally for the random people who might stumble across it and educate them if they have no idea about the topic. So the Sussex squad loves to point out, well, if the royals never sue, then does that mean everything's true? No, because the royals never sue, or rarely ever. I don't want to say never, but we can't pinpoint what is true and what is false because they don't waste their time in pointless, frivolous, shallow lawsuits. And Harry and Meghan do. They're known for it. They're famous for it. And so when they sue what seems like everybody that they don't like, and then they don't sue people who are talking about the bullying claims and that Meghan made Kate cry. And I know she prefers Catherine, but that's the headlines. And it's a glaring neon arrow to point to what is true. Because there's an old saying, and I post it a lot, that if they don't sue, it must be true. And that's the problem. When you have a lot of lawsuits, you're able to quickly point out what's true. And the people that they have never sued are The Hollywood Reporter, Vanity Fair, Valentine Lowe, and Tom Bower, who was at the Invictus Games and, frankly, getting harassed at the Invictus Games. And it was despicable. I mean, I use that word so much, but it applies. Absolutely disgusting behavior. They walked up to this man in this nearly empty area because no one is there, apparently. Every picture I've seen from Getty Images, the stands are empty. So they walk up to one of the few people who are actually interested in the Invictus Games and start harassing him. Why? Because he wrote a book about Harry and Meghan that you chose not to read? Well, they didn't sue him.
Are you in Invictus? Sure, really? Yeah? That's why you came to see? Or is it because you know Harry and Meghan were going to be here today? Yeah. Yeah, we've read the things you've wrote about them, especially Meghan. We've seen your book, we've heard about your book. So it's very interesting that you're at Invictus because we know why you're here. So why don't you tell the truth about why you're here? You came all the way from the UK and the UK press to Invictus in Canada just because you want to see it? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. But yeah, we know.
Because as I said, they have never sued this man. And if they don't sue, it must be true. So, as you can see, elder abuse absolutely pisses me off, as it should everybody. And I don't mean to imply that Mr. Bower can't take care of himself, because he's a brilliant man from what I know of him. You know, to be a lawyer, to be an author, to do everything that he's done. He was classy, he was elegant, he did not engage with these fanatics. So I have a little bit of advice to the Sussex squad, and only to the Sussex squad. Pick up a copy of Tom Bower's book, Revenge. Find someone to read it to you and can break it down into small words where you can understand it and actually learn something in your life for once, you brainless fools. Stop harassing people. Stop elder abusing people who have done nothing but make a living telling the truth. And these people, most people in my life will tell you, I have a very long, slow fuse to anger, but nothing will make me angry like abusing the elderly in this way. So let's move on from that. And let's talk a little bit about Meghan leaving Invictus. I don't know enough about it I can speculate. We can all speculate. In my opinion, I think she was asked to leave. I think the PR was so over the top. The negativity was so bad that the people, I don't think Harry, but that the people who run the games might have actually said, it's time for you to go. Now, devil's advocate. I love to play devil's advocate. So she has never, to my knowledge, stayed for the entirety of the Invictus game. I believe she usually shows up late and then stays till the end. This was a little different. At least last time I know she showed up later, a few days, and then stayed through, I believe, most, if not all of it. But for her to leave when she needs this PR desperately after her disaster tourism, for her to go running scared. For her to not want to be around her husband, who she's love bombing right before Valentine's Day. It was a very interesting decision. So I do, like I said, in my opinion, I believe she was asked to leave. Now, no, I didn't find it surprising at all. I was going to say what I found surprising, but no. What I did not find surprising was opening up Instagram this morning and seeing her luggage unloaded from a private jet. The eco-warrior strikes again. Now, granted, it is usually Harry on stage preaching to us peasants about what we need to do to improve our carbon footprint, because we shouldn't travel as much. We should choose different locations, according to Harry. And then he hops on his private jet. So it does not surprise me at all to see this. It's just one more little tally in her hypocrisy, in his hypocrisy. It's honestly ridiculous at this point. Really, it is. And that people can actually defend this, but they do. And oh well. All right, that's going to do it for me today. Hopefully I'll be able to bring you some royal news at some point. I really would like to kind of split my focus, because the royals are who interest me. That is who I usually seek out the stories about them. So hopefully I'll be able to start balancing the channel a little bit more. But with Invictus, that kind of made it a little difficult. Thank you again so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. I do try and read them all. Between that and I get several hundred I get several hundred notifications a day on Instagram, so it's very hard for me to keep up with everything, but I do try and get to reading them all, and I do so appreciate when you take time out of your day to speak with me. I love getting to know everybody better in this community. So thank you so much for watching, and I will speak with you soon. Bye-bye.